How's your dating life, man?
Oh, my dating life's cool because I'm dating big girls, man.
Yeah?
Big girls. Watch out for the big girls. The best thing about it is, after you do it with a big girl, you know, you laying there, you all fat and naked, it's always some treats. Right here. It's always, and you know, it might be a ghetto girl, so it's like lemon heads or like Jolly Ranchers or now ladies. But if she got a real girl, she got a little refrigerator right there. She just look over. Would you want a juicy juice box? And you a grown ass man, you be like, yeah, I could use a juicy juice box. I'm serious. Deviled eggs? When I meet women in the club, first thing I say is, can you make deviled eggs? Because there's not a dude in here that does not like deviled eggs.
That's true.
See?
I like deviled eggs.
See what I'm saying? You guys? Look, the brother's like, damn, I ain't never really think about that, but yeah,
well,
that's
very easy to make, too. If you can't make deviled eggs, well, you can't make anything else.
There you go. And if you gotta save your marriage.
I like deviled eggs, and I like Oreos. I like double stuffed deviled eggs.
Double stuffed?
It's a combination. In fact, I call it doubled eggs.
Look, all I'm saying is after the show, just meet me around the corner. Let me get some of what you got. Whatever you want, I need to get some of that.
Where you from, Kyle?
I'm originally from Seattle, which is north of here. Unless you're in Seattle, then it's right there. And I grew up with my mother, Bambi. Her name's not Bambi. We just call her that because she's a stripper and her mom was killed by a hunter. So we thought that would be a good name for her. And she's cool. We've been going through kind of a hard time. My mom's mom, she died, actually. So this is less funny from here on out. But my mom, she wanted an open casket and my uncle wanted a closed one. And we came up with the coolest compromise on the planet. You know the garbage cans that have the pedals? That when you step on them, you can see in there. Yeah. That's what we had for Grandma. We had the option of seeing Grandma's corpse if we wanted to, and we'd take her foot off and it would close. The weird thing was there was another pedal that unnecessarily controlled Grandma, which was just like, yeah, you just step on that and she'd come out and be like, thanks for coming to my funeral. You know? And you're like, Grandma never said that, you know, because she was alive when she spoke. I'm kidding. Some of you are mortified. My grandma's fine.
That's funny to me.
She did do the coffin thing, though. She just wanted to know what it would be like. So we'd have a fake funeral, and she'd lie in there, and we'd be like, I'm going to miss you. And she'd be like, uh-huh, and what else will you say when I'm dead? And while she was in there, we killed her, because it was like, yeah, I don't want to have to...
It gets irritating.
Yeah, I don't have to take her out and wait 6 or 7 years until she decides to die and put her back in. I have stuff to do, you know?
So you go on the road a lot. Do you see your family?
Oh, well, they ruined last Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I went to my sister's house. Now, I'm on the road, so I'm not going to cook anything. Yeah. So I send her $500 and say, buy a turkey. And she says, how big a turkey do you want? Now, I don't know about that stuff, but I'm thinking, you know, 100, 125 pounds. You know, one floating in the Macy's parade? That one. And so there's 10 of us, and I go there, and I paid $500 to buy this turkey. And it's an 11-pound turkey. It was a little fella. It must have got hit by a car. I could have put it on my chest and ate it like an otter. I didn't want to cause a scene, but I said, tell me there's 9 more turkeys just like this in the kitchen. Tell me this is like the Cornish game hen of turkeys. And my other sister brings turnips every year, every holiday. Nobody likes turnips. It's a form of aggression. Turnips are a root vegetable. They grow in the ground. That means at the beginning of the world, God made the turnip and went, no, this didn't come out right. Gabriel, try this. You don't like it either, huh? Well, you know what? I'll bury it and they won't find it. Well, my sister digs it up and brings it to my house for Thanksgiving. And I can't eat turnips. They do something to my stomach. It's not gas. There was an incident. We were driving to a football game. I'm sure it was the turnips. My friend Kenny was driving. My friend Billy was in the back. I had a gas attack. Before I could say, excuse me, we hit a guardrail. My friend Kenny slumped over the wheel. Apparently, with the sound I made, he thought he had been shot. My friend Billy was in back, he had child-proof windows. They wouldn't go down. I can still see his face. He passed out. He said it was peaceful, and he walked towards a bright light. He saw his grandfather in a white robe, and he was yelling, "Go back, he just has gas!" So that's why I don't like it. I try not to see the face.
We gotta take a break. We'll be right back as always.
For more laughs, visit comicsunleashed.com.
Welcome back to Comics Unleashed. All right, Debbie, what's the secret to a good marriage?
That was my wedding song. My family wasn't ready for my wedding at all because I married I'm Latina, and I married a white guy, and they weren't ready for it because they loved him, but they weren't ready for a white wedding. And because, you know, Mexican weddings, first of all, white people send out invitations and ahead of time. And, yeah, you know, and RSVP and no kids at the wedding. And, you know, Mexicans, the kids are in the wedding, you know, walking out before money. And then, so there's no invitations. You just stop at a stoplight. There's a, "Orale, Chuy, my cousin Carlos is getting married. Follow me." And then at a white wedding, you have to pay for drinks. And Mexican weddings, it's open bar. We got to pump it ourselves, but we don't care. And then at every white wedding, there's a table that says reserved with your name, you know? And a Mexican wedding, we all just line up in front of the door, ¿verdad? And when that garage door goes up,
What is his head? What team is this from?
This is a college I did in Maine, which is funny. I do like 200 colleges a year, and every school, yeah, back off.
My bad.
Every,
I don't want no problems, Ferris.
every school.
Maine is
I
the
know.
setting of most of Stephen King's novels, so let's...
Yeah, well, and the weird thing is, and I know all you guys do colleges, every college, though, is in the middle of nowhere. Did you notice that? Like, you'll get in a teeny plane, it'll be like, you're seat 2A, and you're in the back. And like, seat 1A is first class, and then me, and there's a guy holding the propeller, like, "Are you ready for going?" And then we get there, and then every college, like, they like tell these kids, don't drink, and don't do drugs, and don't have sex, and they make it so they have to. It's like their choices are Walmart or Susie, and it's like,
Well,
both are always open. Come on!
That's not true.
I'm a big fan.
Now, that's not
I'm
true
a
for
big
black
fan.
colleges. Howard University, one of our greatest institutions of higher learning, black college, is in the middle of a hood.
Where's that? Where's the hood? See, now you're
DC.
talking about hats. I like that.
It's on Georgia Avenue in Washington, D.C. Remember when D.C. was the murder capital of the... That was the capital of the murder capital. It was right outside of Howard University.
I like the idea of like noticing each city by like the crappy things that happened. Like, remember when it was the murder capital? Like, oh yeah, in the history books. And it was DC. Yeah,
It's still up there, by the
Yeah,
way.
it is. I mean, that's where I'm from,
It
Kyle.
is it-
That's my hometown.
I'm not from there.
Yeah, we know you ain't from
Clearly
there.
not from there.
Now, what's this, man? You just got a personal trainer?
Well, one yelled at.
oh,
Hey, give me a sit-up. I said, I don't do ups. Sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, I do downs. Sit down, lay down. Blackjack, I'll double down. Give me a cheeseburger, I'll wolf it down. Put on the music, I'll boogie down. That's right, I get down. Drop it like it's hot. They have that, I can do this elliptical thing, and I can do like a half hour, and that's a miracle for me. I'm sweating, and one lady's telling me, "You're burning fat." Oh, good. I hope it's a controlled burn, because if this baby goes up all at once, there's going to be a mushroom cloud over this gym.
We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
For more laughs, visit comicsunleashed.com.
All right, welcome back to Comics Unleashed. Are you religious?
I'm not. Well, I think the non-religious people don't know for sure if God and Virgin Mary made baby Jesus, and the reason they don't know is we didn't have Maury Povich back then. doing the paternity
test, to do
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. And how good of an episode
Right.
Maury would just have Virgin Mary on. He's like, so tell me what happened. And she's like, well, we were drunken at a party. I didn't even mean to get drunk. I had water and it became wine. I don't know what happened. And then it's like, God was showing me things he invented like gravity and I thought it was sexy, so we hooked up. And then it cuts to a split screen and God's backstage going, this is BS! But he's actually, he's actually swearing and he actually is flipping off the camera. I can't do it, but they're blurring his middle finger too, but he's unblurring it because he's God and he can do stuff like that. And so Mari's like, all right, God, come on out here. And he comes out and everyone's booing him and he's damning him to hell. And you're like, this is a good episode. So anyway, I do know I read the Bible and it said God said, let there be light. And I was thinking, I'm sure he did. But who was he talking to? Wasn't he buying? It's not like I stand alone in my kitchen. Let there be cheesy macaroni.
You've been vacationing?
You know, the best time for me is August. 100 degrees, 95% humidity. Let's take John out and walk him around the world. I wore, the first day we were at Disney World in August, I wore a black velour Sean John sweatsuit. I should have looked in the mirror because I look like a panda. People were fascinated.
Ling ling.
I didn't know you could get this close to them. So I didn't want to do Disney World. It was too hot for me. So we go to a water park. Now there's 10 of us. It's $40 each to get in. So that's $400 for me. Because I got a great family, but the bill comes, they become astronomers. They're taking a vote on whether Pluto is a planet or not. Now I paid $400 to splash around in water. I'm not happy already. And I just thought it was splashing around. There were horrible rides. There was a giant slide 20 stories high, and there was no elevator. I paid $40, $400. The general manager should carry my ass up there. I'm in flip-flops and a Speedo. Let's not visualize that.
I just did.
So, and people are yelling at you, you're not walking fast enough. And I was in no mood. I will break wind and you will disintegrate before you hit the ground. I get to the top of the slide, and it's not a slide. When you slide, you go, wee. This is not what happened. I went, ah! That's a drop. If it said giant drop, I wouldn't have walked up. At no point did my butt touch slide. If you reach around and your butt's not touching slide, that's a free fall. I'm falling. I see my family walking up. It's not a slide! And I hit the water. Oh, God. Those people shouldn't have been there. I pop out of the water. Where's my baby? Where's my baby? Like I need this on my vacation.
My baby.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
For more laughs, visit comicsunleashed.com.
All right, welcome back to Comics Unleashed. Did you vote?
Yes, I did vote. You have to vote. My favorite thing to vote on are the initiatives. You know the propositions where you see an argument for one side and you're like, that's a good point. And then you see an argument for the other side and you're like, that's a good point too, and you never know which way. I think we need a few that it's just obvious. Like, wouldn't it be cool if it was like, Proposition 97, should we continue to not eat babies? Like, right there, you'd be like, hell yeah! I don't want to eat babies, I don't have time. You know, they're not delicious. It would be eating babies. So there's a third reason, but the way they phrase those things when you get to the voting booth, you don't know which way you're voting, because it's always like, should we not eat babies not on this not day? And you're sitting there like, crap, I don't want to eat babies, you know, I don't have time, they're not delicious. Remember
But
my
you can't
reasons?
figure it out.
I had three, and that's plural. Yeah, exactly.
Because of the word.
Yeah, and then it's on the news the next day. Well, 74% of Americans decided it's time to eat babies. Why am I a waiter?
Now, I understand you've been traveling internationally?
I work in France. Now, I speak French, but I don't speak it well for them. So you stay at a 5-star hotel, and you ask the concierge, excuse me, do you know where I can get some breakfast? Je ne comprends pas, monsieur. You know what I'm saying? You're watching CNN in English. Where's breakfast? me crazy in France is they don't really have breakfast. They don't do, that's why they're all skinny. They don't do breakfast. They call breakfast petit déjeuner, which means no food till noon. They give you a croissant and a cup of coffee. I have a croissant and a cup of coffee on the way to breakfast. Where's my breakfast? That's why they lost so fast in World War II. They didn't have any breakfast. Although they can drink wine. They took me on a wine tasting, and they can drink wine for 8 hours and drive a school bus. Now, me, after like the 4th or 5th hour, the subtle differences in the wine start to elude me. Red, white, Boone's Farm apple, and they're asking me about the wines. You know, they're proud of their. Which ones did you like better, the Margots, the Letos, the Coteau Chalamet? I don't remember getting in the car.
Give them a round of applause. Wow, a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us. I want to thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep laughing.
This has been a production of EntertainmentStudios.com.